What's up, guys? Escape Your Cubicle here from Las Vegas, Nevada. Over here right now when I'm filming, it's Friday, and yeah, I know, maintenance required, right? I hate that. It's been saying maintenance required for like a couple months now, so excuse me. I've got to get the old Prius into the shop, so I'm gonna do a little 2-day road trip out to SoCal, Orange County, California, next week sometime, because that's where I bought this car, and they give me lifetime free oil changes. I got a place I can stay for free out there. It is 8:26 right now in the morning. I'm supposed to be at the office by 8 a.m. But and right now traffic is moving along nicely because as long as you're not leaving before 8 o'clock, the traffic's not bad out here. Check it out. Moving along pretty good. So, like I said, I'm not too worried about being late today, or pretty much ever again, because today is my last day. Today is my official last day at the corporate cubicle day job. I'm trying to make the escape again, so it's the whole idea of this YouTube channel is to get away from something. In my case, it's the freaking office cubicle jobs, which suck the living life out of you and drain your energy, and you sit there staring at the clock all day. You're not fulfilled. You don't have any satisfaction. I mean, if it's one where you don't give a crap about the job, like where I am, where it's just boring as possible, and there's no sense of making progress or moving towards something in a job like that, where you're just a paper pusher, or these days pretty much just an email pusher. Email comes in, you type something, email goes out. That's your whole job. Not going to do it anymore. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and make today the last day. Gave 2 weeks notice, so we're all good, and heading into the office for the final commute today. We're going to see what happens. It's going to be all on me moving forward to generate my living expenses. So got some few different things I'm working on, some side gigs, and also I have the Uber account. I'm going to be setting up a Lyft account, so I have that as well, so I can make some living money, some grinding money on the side. When you're leaving a day job where you have a steady paycheck every week or every 2 weeks, obviously the biggest stressor on that is that paycheck stops. Obviously, you're not going to be getting that guaranteed living expense money on every payday. So it's up to you to generate that money. The obvious downside of that is you don't have stability anymore. You don't have that stable thing, and that stability, the way I look at it, is that stability is also can be a killer, because if you're too stable and if you're too comfortable at your job, especially at a job where you really don't like it, you don't want to be there, and you can just feel it sucking the life out of you, they pay you just enough. This is the way it seems. They always pay you just enough to where you can barely get all your expenses paid, or even a little bit short, until the next payday. So it's like, for me, the paycheck comes in, and like a day or two later, the paycheck is gone. It's gone to expenses. You can't really save anything. You can't set anything aside. You can't build something up. You can't build up a side business because you don't have funds. So it's very difficult unless you're making good money. But they do pay you just enough to keep you comfortable. They give you some benefits and things like that, right, to keep you there, and to make it scary for you to leave. But you got to look at it, in my case anyway, I can't speak for everyone, but in my case, my way of looking at it is, sure, I could do this for another, 10 years, 20 years even, and I could survive. I could get my bills paid. But am I going to be fulfilled? Am I going to be happy? Am I going to be satisfied? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So, am I going to get to 65, 75 years old, retire, look back and say, that was great. I just spent, 40 years sitting in a cubicle with nothing to show for it except just barely scrounging and getting by, not being happy for a big part of that time. I don't want to do that. I'd rather have an adventure. I'm a risk taker. Everybody's not a risk taker, but it's a personal evaluation that everybody has to do. You've got to decide, is the stability worth it for me to stay here? And what's your level of happiness or unhappiness at that job? If the unhappiness level is high enough to where it's outweighing the value of the stability, then maybe you need to just start taking a closer look at what other opportunities can you possibly generate or that can you find that will allow you to do your own thing, something that you like. It might even just be a job change. Sometimes even just changing from one regular job to another, that's very stressful, even if it's for more money, because people don't want to have the change. They don't want to leave people that they're familiar with and the job that they're familiar with and the boss that they're familiar with. So I know it's hard. Definitely not easy for me either. But I want to do this as taking a risk. I'm open to it, and it's also going to be an adventure. It's like a milestone. You look back and decide this is either going to be something where it's great and you never look back. In my case, I don't care what happens. I'm never regretting this particular decision, because where I was just so incredibly, the job itself was so incredibly boring. People were cool, but the job was extremely boring and mundane and tedious, and with all of that, even stressful. So it's just, the stability is not worth it in this case. I don't care what I move into. I can move into anything, and if I'm going to make a change, I might as well go full out and try to be completely self-employed on my own. We'll see how it goes. I mean, worst case scenario is I get another maybe part-time job and then still have my own additional free time to work on side business activities. Because for me, the biggest motivator is not just making a bunch of money. The biggest motivator for me is freedom of time. That time is so valuable. When you're just trading straight hours for a flat hourly wage, whatever that is, if it's $10 an hour, $15 an hour, $20 an hour, if it's not something that's building your financial, background, your bank account, if it's not building it up, if it's just enough to get by, then a lot of times I do not believe just trading straight hours for a flat hourly wage is not worth it. You've got to have some kind of a program where you're paid based on your performance. At my job, they have like a little a quarterly bonus, and they have a little annual bonus, but it's based on company performance, not so much your own performance. And it's not enough for you to get excited. It's like, here's a couple more biscuits for you, So it's better than nothing. But I mean, don't get me wrong, but a lot of jobs don't even have that. And if you don't have that, man, when you have a great day or you have a big success, you don't get any financial reward for that success or that performance you put in for closing a deal or helping a customer that was about ready to leave the company, and you don't get anything extra for that. It's hard to get a good, sense of value for what you did for the company. They just give you the same $10 an hour, $12 an hour, whatever, 15. So I don't want that. I want my pay scale to directly relate to my accomplishments, good or bad. And that's the direction that I'm trying to go in. So I don't want to trade my time for dollars anymore. My free time is so valuable, and freedom is absolutely what I'm going after. There are ways that are out there where you can work half as many hours and make twice as much money and be on your own schedule. It's a fact. Those things are out there. They're not easy to find, but they're out there. So this is what I'm going after. So we'll see what happens. Thanks for watching the video, and it should be interesting to see what happens moving forward, because I'm not going to be sitting at the daily office grind every day anymore. My day and my schedule are going to be completely up to me. And I've got to stay disciplined, and I've got to actually work and not just sit my butt on the couch all day. So I'm going to be grinding. So stay tuned, see what happens next. You guys have an awesome week or an awesome weekend, whatever is going on out there. And stay positive and motivated, and try to think about your own situation. If you're not ready to make that jump, like a leap of faith, like I'm trying to do here, at least if you're not happy, be looking on the side, be looking at night. Don't just sit there and get on the couch and watch TV and go to bed every night. Put aside even 30 minutes instead of a fixed amount of time. 30 minutes is nothing. Do some research online. Look at some other opportunities that are out there. At least you can do the research to feel like you're being active and you're trying to take some kind of an action to get yourself motivated to maybe make an escape from some bad situation that you're in. That's it. I'm almost to the office here, so final 8-hour push for me. And I'll see you guys next time.